CultureCon had some events that happened before the CultureCon had began. And one of the events was the next level creativity for Instagram. And that was talking about augmented reality. And it was really, really informative. It was not just talking about that alone, but also just how you operate in business, how you connect with people, how you just grow yourself, all that good stuff. So it was a good mixture of information. So it doesn't matter if you're in tech or not in tech. It doesn't matter where you are in your business, what kind of creative you are. The information that was shared was very valuable for everybody in that room. So I'm pulling out the spiritual mindset out of the talk because that's what I'm focusing on. And 3 other panelists, there's Deanna, Don Allen III, and Rio. Okay, so they have different careers, but they all have different creativities they have, but they use augmented reality in their work. But again, they have stories, their own personal stories, and different things for anybody in that room that could benefit from what was discussed. So a few things from Deanna. She basically she knows her work, she knows her value, as all the panelists do, because they're extremely talented. And she knows her work, and she gets hired by somebody and they didn't like her work and just said really bad things, that she had to cut the project so they don't, she don't lose no money, they don't lose no money, everything's just being cut off. And she realized that her work is not going to be fit for everybody. She had to keep her morals, her respect, her dignity, as she said. And when she realized that, when she shifted into that mentality state, she started to allow herself to express herself unapologetically. Now, it took her 4 years to realize that. Now, like I said, I'm not going into the business aspect of it. It's just more of the mindset of things. You have a gift. You have a talent. You know your worth. Now, it's a billion people on this earth. Don't tell me you have to serve every single billion people on the earth. It doesn't make any sense. There's going to be people that will like what you do, and it's not for everybody. And because she stick to she know herself, right? She knows herself, she stayed true to it, and she don't want to waver from that. And because she knew that so strongly, it really woke her up to know that she can be fully herself and be okay. And it will attract the right people. And that's where it comes of really, self-loving yourself. Well, self-loving. I said self-loving yourself. But self-loving and really knowing who you are and stay true to it and not alter yourself to please other people. And she didn't do that. She know who she wanted, but she wanted everyone to think that she's great. Everyone has to love this, but no. And because that's why I love what she said, her morals, her dignity, her respect. She stand by that. And many don't want to stand by what they believe in, their morals. They don't want to, dignity, they don't want to, it's thrown out the window. Okay, whether it's in relationship, business, just personal things, they just throw it out the window because they just want, again, not be selfish and care to everybody else and do what everybody say and what the society wants you to be and what not to be. And now you lose yourself and now you don't even know what's going on. Now you have mental situations. Now you have self-esteem issues and all kind of things go left, right? she realized who she is. She know who she is. She stayed by it. And many of us have to stay by it. We all supposed to stay by it. Okay? When you don't waver and being the true of who you are, that's where people can't come kick you down. They're like, either they're with you or they just look somewhere else and be with somewhere else. It's okay to remove yourself from that. So she realized that, and it took her some time, and it's okay. It took her some time. Some people take longer than that to realize that. Sometimes people get so deep into a dark hole before they realize, okay, the light is really important. Let me try to get myself out of that. And then they realize, like, all the time, it's like they could have done that from day one, and they just refused, flat out refuse. They know what's better, but they 100% just don't go by it, or they just, made something get in their way or whatever that is. And that's how this becomes a problem. But she realized it as quickly as she can, whenever it was time for her to realize that, when she was ready. And she's like, you know what? This is how it is. And because she be herself, she's able to attract people who will love her and say, you know what? I love your work. I like what you do. Let's bring this into fruition. And she sees that happening to her, and it gives her results. And then it's just happy that she's able to get her mindset right. Because if her mindset was not like that, she was still probably thinking everyone should like her things. And then how dare they? And then, oh my goodness, she probably be, sad, stuck in the corner, and probably don't want to do what she want to do anymore. Or even worse, just change it all together and doing what she thinks everybody need her to do, and then she just lose herself and say, wait, where's my talent? What would I do again? So it's really good to realize that she realized that. She also said, when the audience had asked about how to deal with imposter syndrome, she just said, listen, imposter syndrome is all in their head. To be honest, it is. And you need to focus on self-care and find people to support you. So she realized the importance of self-care, self-love. Okay? How you have imposter? Who diagnosed these people with imposter syndrome? Like, where's that coming from? Nobody didn't take nothing from you. Nobody. That one had the idea. Okay, that's nice. They didn't steal it from you. Did you tell them that? Did you tell them something? Okay, you told them something. They stole your idea. Okay, so, all right. But you are a human being. Our brains can operate in such multiple ways. It's even ways we haven't even touched, not even 0.5% of. And you're gonna, put all your energy because that one thing went left, or someone took your idea, or whatever that you think it is. You can create something else and get better. There's money for everybody. There's talent everywhere. So you're putting that on your head. Guess what? What's that's gonna happen? Negative self-talk, right? You're gonna have negative feelings, and then you're gonna be attracting even more negativity on top of negativity, to the point it might cause depression. It will start anxiety. It's gonna start jealousy. It's gonna start hate, and then it's gonna be a real toxic situation for you internally, and it's gonna affect everything outside of you and everyone around you, and any situation that could come your way. Only if you just shaping yourself up and realize what you're dealing with is just reversible, right? And she's like, listen, it's made up in your head. No one's telling you whatever you're telling you. You're telling yourself things. You are in control of your thoughts. You can switch that. Now, you need support. There's no nearby support, no close support by you. Then if you feel like you need that, there's groups Okay, there's people that's on social media that really is there to support. I mean, they're really there to support. If you have to pay a service to get in that space, and it's in your means, go right ahead. You could just ask for help and say, hey, I'm in this situation. Share your situation, speak out, and then people could come and say, you know what? I know who can probably possibly help for you. And then there's because they was suggesting to you. Again, it's always your decision if you want to work with those people or whoever. Because just because someone say, yeah, this is a great idea, they're not in your situation. They're not going to feel what's right for you. So that person may be a great person to work with or support with, but you just probably just don't feel they're right for you. It's okay to move on to someone other support. So find, people support. Say, listen, I'm going through this and I see you doing that. I like what you do and I'm feeling kind of low. Can you give me some inspiration? Even the one that you want to follow and you feel that they're the imposters. How about you act those imposters and say, hey, I mean, I see what you're doing. I love what you do. You know, I really want some help and some encouragement. Shoot. I mean, they would love to help you and get you, even better than them. They help you get you what you got to do and get where you have to be, right? So just find people that just support and get your self-love, because that's really important. She's done with that. Let me see who I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Rio next, because I really liked what Don was saying. He's like, was awesome. Well, that was awesome anyway. But Rio, he basically started off with music, and he was very talented. He's basically talented. He's just going with music. He's doing all that good stuff. He gets some placements with some really top celebs, and they promised him the world, and it happened where the connections that he was promised to get and what he's supposed to be getting out of those connections, it didn't go right, to the point he got sick, very sick, but because he used his music and he used art, he was able to get him out of the sickness and healed him. Basically, the sickness was cancer, and he just had a different energy how he was giving out his music and art, and he kind of like did shape that helped. He believed that actually helped him to get well. But anyway, the connections that he was getting, they just didn't do him right. They got to get a lawsuit, and and it really discouraged him. And he was like, why is the point of doing all this work of music? Because that you want to get those great connections, and then that's the result. They just gonna scam you. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's just, there's no worth it. So he's trying to get that lawsuit. He's really focusing so much to get it through. It's taking 10,000 years. So he's like, you know what? He has lost interest in music. He went into art and found a new passion, and was just dead off that, and did his his art and doing that. He fell in love with it, and then getting calls and people's giving connections. And then when he just stopped focusing on that whole music situation, the whole legal stuff, all of a sudden he just the lawsuit was settled. He got his money, and that's it. And he realized that he realized that he can't sit down there and keep waiting. Because he did say, if you keep waiting for things to happen, it will not come. You have to work, even if it have to be focused on something else. And that's how he was able to get his blessings. Now, when you focus so heavily on something, you so want it to just it's a force. It's almost like a force. You just forcing it. You're like, I want it. I really going. I want it so badly. You're giving a restrictive energy towards it. And nothing can go past a restrictive energy. It's like a blockage. It's something not really, something that's in there that is interrupting the flow, right? You probably have some rocks there and it's flowing in, but it's like some rocks need to move out the way, right? That's like kind of the resistance. I want to say blockage, but sometimes it's like a block. Because you're trying too hard, you're thinking too hard, and you're trying to be in control of the situation, and then it's just not gonna flourish out the way you want to because it's so much strain. So when you stop doing that, it just let go, and it's like, okay, I know you got all, you know it went through, things is gonna happen, just it may not be as fast as you want to be, but it's gonna happen. Just lay off, man. Stop that, lay off, girl, lay off, man. Just breathe. When you do that, it let go that restrictive energy. So Don Allen III, he was getting a lot of no's from applying to jobs that he felt he was qualified for because he went to school for it, right? And it was not coming where he needed to be. It was not coming where he wanted it to be for himself. So he's like, no, it's not making any sense. So his parents want him to get the corporate job. He don't want a corporate job, but it's just, it pays bills, pays money. So get to it. He was doing it, but he was not happy at all getting that good money from the corporate jobs. He didn't like it. So he found something that he really liked, applied for it. He loved it. It was paying less, but he really was having such a ball with it because he was excited about that job, and it gave him enough time to do what he really wanted to do, right? So he was doing that, doing what he really loved to do, had all that time, to the point now, because he was creating and doing what he loved on the time that he had, this dream job actually called him, reach out to him, basically. I say called him, but reach out to him via social media, actually, and because he saw what he was doing, and he got the job, his dream job, and he didn't apply for that particular job. So it goes to show that when your soul feels something is not in alignment of what you really want to do, it is okay to say, listen, I don't want to do this. Because a lot of people want to push jobs at you because of money. Money. They care about money so much, is ridiculous. And they lose sight of what really brings in the money, right? We understand you gotta eat and stuff like that, and yada yada, why you have to have money. We understand that, and you want to be secured and safe. Yeah, we get that. But when our heart is not happy, it's not a great outcome. You will make the money, but you're not gonna be fulfilled in yourself. And the worst thing to go years and years and years, yeah, you're making money, but you are just miserable, you're sad, you're depressed, you're not happy, is not a good way to live. People just say, well, you gotta get at it, that's what life is, oh, just suck it up. That you can suck it up, but they can suck it up, but you don't have to for yourself, right? And he felt that he had to move on to something that will bring him joy. He didn't care about the money, and that's what it comes to when you feel in your spirit something feels good and feels aligned, and it's like, yes, you go for that, because you never know what's going to happen on the other end of the tunnel. So what is only paying bare minimum for you, as long as it makes you pay for you to eat and have a roof over your head, and that's basically it. I mean, why? I mean, it's bringing you joy, and stuff can come out of that. Then yeah, you're as someone that getting big bucks. what that's going to do for you. You just gonna, yeah, it's paying off bills and stuff like that, but you're just not happy. And it's the worst thing to have so much money and you're not happy. You hear it all the time. There's rich people out there. They got tons of money and opportunities, but they are unhappy like whoa. And it's something that's missing that they haven't fulfilled. And it's the worst thing. And I understand, I relate with Don. You know, it's just jobs that I've done some work, but I just never felt, you know, fulfilled there, because I knew there's something I want to do that it will be fulfilled, and me working is not helping here. You know, yes, I'm focused on it, but it's hard for me to try to focus there and then try to focus, you know, on what I'm trying to build. But what I'm trying to build while I'm working is hard, because it gets extremely slow. It's already slow to be growing what I'm trying to grow, and then is even slower when I'm working and I gotta work for somebody else. It's just too much. So you feel there's something is shifting. You want to move and it doesn't feel right, and you have to go what feels right. So one time, like it was a time that I needed work, and a mailman was like, here's a job application to do, and go and do in mail. I'm like, that's not me. I mean, yes, that'd be great to get money, but I just know it's just not in my soul to do that. I'm like, nope, turn down. It's just what it is. I don't want to do it. And it doesn't feel right in my soul, in my spirit. It just, I have to move from that. Because when you stuck in there and you're always thinking of what you really want to do, and you're always doing it at your job, that means that something has to shift, something. So if you have to get something that's a little less so you can do what you gotta do, great. That's awesome. Some people can't do that, which is understandable, but there's different ways to get where you have to go, and whatever way that is fits for you, that's what you should do. Okay. And everybody's journey is different, and he's listened to his soul. He listened and he just kept true to that. And because he did that, you know, he just got what he wanted all along, you know? So it's really important to tap into that and listen to that. Don't care what anybody else have to say, because it's not their journey. It's not their life. It's only you have to answer for. And they're not going to help you when it comes down to the night hour. You only got yourself to look out for. And you have to be happy. No one else gonna try to put that in your hands for yourself. And I was really happy that he got what he got, and yeah. And he also said that he told the audience as well, the creative, that you gotta get addicted to gratitude. And I believe him 100%. Because in my journey of getting spiritual, it was through food, and then after that, you know, is some crystals, whatever. But really, food really was a grounding point for me. And then I started to do some other work, and gratitude. I was in a Facebook group, and they was saying, you know, I did this gratitude stuff, and then things was happening for me. I did this gratitude work, and this was happening for me. I was like, no, let me just try this gratitude thing. And Lord behold, I did that, and that's what got me. My last job, that, you know, for me working for somebody else, you know, I got that job because I was working in my gratitude, and it really did open the doors for me to get something that I really want. And it was somewhere actually where I really like to work at, and it was pretty cool. So, being gratitude really works, because when you be in gratitude, having gratitude, that really opens up positivity. Because when you're writing down what you're grateful for, you're thankful for the day, during the day, and the evening, or things that just happens throughout the day, what's going on, you are happened in the past, whatever, and you're just writing it, how you appreciate it, that is giving such a great energy and a positive energy, and you gotta be in that happy moment. You know, and when you're in that moment, guess what? You're attracting a positive energy, and that's how, since you're going to be in that nice state, it's just gonna naturally attract, and you're gonna see the difference. And you can have your own way how you can give gratitude, or saying thank you to somebody, or saying how was your day. Just doing those things, it brings joy to you. And when it does, and you're always in that frequency, that's how you're able to attract a lot more things for yourself, and positivity to yourself, and things will start working out. The opportunities, the situations that you wanted to help, that you wanted to be in your presence, right, is gonna open up, and the doors will open for you, and you'll get what you want, or something better. I just believe that there's different ways of getting what you need, in a positive light. As long as you're positive, as long as you always listen to your intuition, if something feels off, and you go just do what you do. Doesn't matter if it makes sense to anybody. Don't care what everybody's so used to. And that's the problem. A lot of us are love to be in that mode. The society wants you to be this way, so you have to be that way or else. Who are they? They're not the source. They are not your source of what you need to do. So you do things that make sense to you, not to anybody else. Okay, you know it feels good, something's right about it, you just know something's there, you go for it. And that's that. Because just because you can't see what's happening on the other side doesn't mean it's not gonna come for you in the light. And that's a lot of people who like to work on the phrase of, well, I see it, I believe it kind of thing. That is a wrong way to even think about it. That's not being in your tapping in spiritual self. If you got to see things to believe things, that's what it's called faith. That's what it's called belief. Whatever you want to call it, that feels comfortable for you, of how you can get the unseen, right? Oh, I don't know how it's coming from, and you're just so lost, and things that people feel scared about that because they're not in control. So they can't control the situation. It's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? They always think there's something negative going to happen because they can't control the situation. That's not true. Do what feels good, what feels aligned. You do your gratitude work. Any kind of gratitude, I think, is a simple way to get into the realm of spirituality. But any kind of spiritual work that works well for you, you continue that. With Don is gratitude. He does on a practice on a daily. So it really will. Whatever that is that will bring some rejuvenation to you and joy or happiness to you, you do that. If it has to be, say, listen, you want to take a nap right now and that will make you feel really happy, and that's what you feel aligned and called and drawn to, you take that nap. Because guess what? You wake up, you might get an idea, or someone might call, or you might read something or see something when you get up. Or you might just spontaneously say, you know, I want to do this, or whatever that is. And you just might be getting more clarity, whatever that is, just because you just took a nap, because that felt aligned to do the next thing to do. You do that. So I'm really happy that Don takes that gratitude seriously, and he just gave out tangible points for the audience, the creatives, to do whenever they have a chance to do that. You know, say thank you to somebody, or, you know, shout someone out, or whatever that is you want to do. You could do your gratitude by writing it out. That's my suggestion, is write it out. You can put it during the day, every day, or every other day, whatever you feel called to do it during the day, even whatever's best for you, whatever you can. And when you start doing that, it puts you in that energy, and you'll get far with that. So a lot of great points was coming from those panelists. They just super talented, and so much there's so much gems in there of the mindset and how they work on their spirituality, and it's really important for to strive to what you want, to strive where you want to go. Doesn't matter what it is, whether the relationship, it could be relationship, business, whatever. That's the way to go, you know. And yeah, I that's all I really had to say with that. And yeah, just make sure you find your own way, listen to your intuition, and find the spiritual practice that works for you.